Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our live stream today. Today we have one of the best models of Chateau a top model in Chateau. She has 5 years experience, more than 5 years experience in Chateau. She has done an amazing job. She has plenty of things already a successful model, and we brought her today so she can enlighten us with some knowledge of how to improve your income with our new Lovense Mini Sex Machine. So welcome, Taylor. Taylor Love. Welcome to our live stream. And well, please introduce yourself. Let's the other people know who you are and your experience and a little bit about yourself. All yours.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. That was very sweet of you, Santi. Thank you guys for joining today, or if you're watching this later. I hope you find what I say somewhat useful and can apply it to yourself and grow as a cam model and have a little bit of fun. So, like Santi said, I am a full time cam model on Chatterbait. I have just crossed the 5 year mark, and I have over half a million followers there. I stream approximately 35 to 40 hours a week, and my shows mainly consist or exclusively consist of the fuck machine and or sex machine, excuse me, and the other Lovense toys. I have gathered some plethora of information that I thought I'd share with you. Some models kind of gatekeep and try to, the industry can be competitive, and I'm just not that way at all. I think that we can build a community together. I have friends who are models, and I think that we can all just make each other better. Um, so I wanted to start off by just kind of like giving you a top three things that I've kind of learned in the past 5 years in no particular order. And I hope they can help you. So, the first one is that you can create menus and you can utilize different patterns. So, the beautiful thing, for those of you who don't know how Lovense kind of works, right, is they took the model or the cam model and they took the user and they created an experience to where when the user tips a certain monetary value, a token, for instance, it creates a vibration or a pulse or a thrust to the model. So it instead of the model reacting to a tip noise or a visual cue, the model's actually reacting to that sensation, to that feeling, which creates such a deep sense of connection and just really pairs that like digital connection between you and some complete stranger from across the world. It's a beautiful concept and it completely transformed the industry. I don't know a model out there who, excuse me, a model out there who doesn't use a Lovense toy personally. And if you don't use a toy, I highly recommend it. I've used them for 5 years and I mean, I would never go back. So take your time and you can be creative and create a menu that you like. You can gather some inspiration from other streamers, but what I want you to do is really spend some time playing with yourself in the chat or on your own, doesn't matter. Figure out what you like, because if you don't like it, they won't like it because it'll translate through the camera. So spend some time. Lovense provides patterns. Once you get into the whole world of Lovense, you'll notice that. So they have like an earthquake pattern, a pulse, a gosh, now I'm like drawing a blank. But they have 4 different patterns. You can create different lengths of time that the machine can run. So, for example, I've created, I have 4 patterns. So I have the 4 patterns. They're all within a certain amount of tips, right? So that the user can tip 67 or 68, 72, etc. But you can also create lengths of time and intensity. So you can play around with, high intensity for short periods of time, slow intensity for long periods of time. But just kind of mess around with it. It's a really good feature. It will add a lot more interaction and keep things exciting and bouncing off of each other. Um, One thing that I did when I was creating this menu, and I did fine tune it over the last 5 years. I'm always changing it a little bit, but one thing I did that I think was really smart, and I haven't heard anyone else discuss this, and maybe I shouldn't tell you this secret anyways, but one thing that I thought was very smart was I actually looked at how much tokens cost, right? So for instance, on Chatterbait, they're 5 cents a token for me, right? But for the user, that can range based on the amount of tokens they buy. I hope that makes sense. So users can buy packages, right? So they buy 100 tokens for $11, or they could buy 200 tokens for 20, and they get a small discount the more they spend. However, when somebody is watching a cam model, what I would perceive most users are impulse, right? They get um, inspired by what you're doing on cam, and they want to contribute. They want to give you pleasure. They want to help you reach your goal in your chat room. They want to contribute to your experience. So they say, I have an extra $10. What can that get me? So I go up in the menu and they click, and they're like, I can buy 100 tokens. Now, if that user is going to spend 100 tokens on Chatterbait and they go to a model's room and they see that 100 tokens isn't going to give them anything, right? That's not going to vibrate them. They're not going to use a machine. They're not going to get they're not going to make a tick really to the goal because it's so big. You're not going to feel that in that impulse to buy the tokens. However, what I did was I tried to look at that impulse buy, which I perceive to be like that $10 to $20 range, and I made a majority of my menu items that amount or under. That way, somebody who buys 100 tokens could tip 4 times and receive more than they would in a room where they tip once and get a tiny bit. So that's just some little secret that I feel like I kind of figured out early on. People are in there for a quick fix. Some will stick around, but you're trying to get the people who are just they're at their work break and they want to scroll through the internet and find something they like, right? That's who we're aiming for. So just wanted to share that little tip there for you. Um, and just play around with it. Like I said, spend some time. If you don't like something that you put on your menu, you can change it or you could add things. There's not stress. Once you make a menu, you're not stuck to it. So play around with the menu. I recommend the patterns. I think it just makes everything more fun. So that's my first little tidbit there. So the second thing I felt like sharing with you was how versatile and the positions you can do with the mini machine and the full size machine because I have both. I've been using the full size sex machine since it came out, so just over 2 years ago. And then I've been using the mini for a while now because I helped test it, and then I got the official one, and I've been having fun with that too. It's so little and delicate though that for my streams I can only use it here and there because I'm on the extreme side of things. So keep that in mind. But if you are brand new to camming and you want to get into the Lovense machines, but you want to go take it a step farther, I recommend the mini. It does come in at a lower price, which is fantastic because you can make up that. Once you purchase it, I guarantee you within a 2 week of streaming, you will make that plus from revenue. The great thing about the mini is that it is so light, so versatile. I mean, I have it back here and you can just wiggle it around. It's great. It would be perfect for a model who doesn't want to dive into a big, scary, intense machine. That's amazing. But scary, right? It's big, it's a big investment, it's intense, it's heavy, right? They want something that oh, I just want 10 minutes at a time, or make it a tip option, right? That somebody has to tip for. I won't use the machine unless you tip kind of mentality. So you can pull it out, it's super light, super easy to plug in and play. It also would be really good for your personal life. From experience, I mean, it stows away really nicely, in inconspicuous places. So, if space is an issue for you, highly recommend the mini. And then also I've traveled. I've traveled with the big machine. I've traveled with the mini. Been to Hawaii. Actually got stopped at by security. What is that? It's a sex machine. Yeah, it's super versatile. So if you're just delving into the sex machine world, highly recommend it. You can always step it up from there. But the cool thing with the machines and some things that I've experimented with in streams is I had a partner, a female partner on stream with me, and I actually had two machines. So I was able to stack the main body, which is the one that the rod comes in and out of. I was able to stack two on one machine so that both people were using it at the same time to the same tips, which made for a extremely interesting stream, because the user base, the viewers were like, oh my gosh, I can tip X amount and it's doing 2 for 1. And you can do that with all your Lovense toys. They do work. Like if you want to use the machine with the nipple clamps, they have the Geminis. If you want to use the Tenera, you want to use the Lush, you want to use the hyphy or the Dami, you can hook up, I think, 3 or 4 at a time, which is exciting for viewers because they can, and this can all be kind of a part of your menu as well, but I'm just trying to talk more about like the versatility, the like experimentation you can kind of do. So you can have those as options, right? So like I am using the machine, but do you want to also stimulate my nipples? Like fantastic. Like let's add that to it. It's a combo deal, and I highly recommend it because it's a great time. It's a really good time. I also really like the fact that the machine has a vacuum lock adapter, and if you don't know what that is, it's so you can kind of see where the toy is on the end of the machine. When that slides off, the little black piece is called a vacuum lock adapter. And the Lovense does come with toys that are fantastic, but if you want to kind of experiment and have a little fun, a lot of manufacturers make toys that go on vacuum locks. You can modify dildos and toys like that that can go on the vacuum lock as well. I have a ton behind me if you can see them. And those can be a part of your menu as well, or just a part of your main show just to keep it interesting, right? So really like expanding your horizon, not okay, the machine is for this and that's it, or this toy is for this and that's it. You can really kind of play with it, which I find really beneficial to keeping the momentum, with the tips and everything going. So that's just my personal take on positioning. Like I said, travel. So if you're traveling for work or personal life, you could stream, and you have a fantastic toy to take with you to stream. Like it's a no brainer for me. I try to take it with me every time because you never know if you have good internet and you can stream, and you're like, yes, that's great. um, and then moving on, the third thing that I really, really recommend that helped me a ton, especially in the beginning, but also when you need just like a little bit more motivation or you want to educate yourself more, um, is that there's so many different apps, and there's also a ton of online information and forums. So as far as apps go, the horizon is almost limitless. Lovense, I haven't even dipped my toes in because they have so many like games that you can play. They have overlays I've seen girls use, that will show like your tip levels. They'll show like the tips coming into your stream. Um, and I think that sounds so fun. I have played games before on streams, and I think it's super fun. But you got to do what works for you. So if you want to spice things up and experiment while you're getting started, or if you're just getting a little like flat and you want to kind of spice it up because you want to see what stir up the pot a little bit, I would highly recommend looking into their, I think they call it the cam extension, but I'd have to verify that with you. But I highly, highly recommend that. So take a peek at that. The other thing is there is a lot of information. You just have to make sure you find the right information. I actually, before even doing like this master class or like helping with certain toys and like giving the Lovense feedback, I did spend a lot of time on Cam 101, and I also spent a lot of time on just Lovense's website in general. They have a lot of information on first time streamers, ways to generate more traffic and interaction in your room. And there is a few other websites I recommend. You can also try to make friends with other cam models through X, or live streaming, but like I said, the industry is a little bit, there's a lot of people who aren't very open minded to talking to other models. It's very competitive. But there's some really good girls and guys that I have like gotten to know, and it's a fun community. Chatterbait as well has some resources like how to get set up streaming, how to like make OBS work. Like there is resources there, and you can find them, and you can also find out, find people to talk to. I'm one of them if you have any questions ever. I'm on X, Instagram. I have my email. I have a whole website, taylorlove33.com. You can reach out to me at any time. I love helping people. And I just want to express that like you can always learn more and continue going. So, and then I just had a few more bonus things that I kind of wanted to mention that I've learned that are not as um, like education based. It's more like feelings based and stuff. So, um, the number one thing that you're striving for on stream and cam is you're striving for interaction. And with interaction, you will get revenue, right? And everybody who comes into your chat is so important. It doesn't matter if they come in and spend nothing on you, it doesn't matter if they come drop 10,000 tokens on you. Everyone in your chat is important. Anyone who takes time out of their day to come in and say, hello, how are you doing? Is important, and treat everyone with respect and kindness because it will go a long ways. And money should never be your priority. It never should be your focus. It's important. A lot of us are doing this for a living. Some of us are doing it for hobbies, but of course it's important, but don't let that be at the front of your mind, clouding your judgment, making you act grumpy and uninterested or greedy. That's no one wants that. No one, they want to have a good time with you, and the tip is a after effect of building those relationships. So that's just a little 2 cents there. And then if you're just starting out, I've mentioned this in the beginning, but I think it's also really important. If you're just starting out streaming, spend some time going through Chatterbait or whatever site you prefer and go find other models who you resonate with and you like who they are, how they run their stream. Take a look at the bots they're using, the toys they're using, how they're interacting with chat. And it's not a copy paste situation at all. It's more just meant for like an inspiration, right? If you like how they made you feel, then you want to make other people feel that way. And then the last but not least, and I will preach this on top of a rock, is that your mental health matters above everything. Your physical health matters. You matter. Like you are your prop. You are your work. Like this is you. And every day, take time to decompress from stream so that you can come back refreshed, passionate, ready. I think it's very important. So do what it takes for you to find that like level of peace to come back on. Um, I don't know how to close these out other than saying thank you, Lovense, for having me do this little class. If you want to watch me stream, I'm on Monday through Saturday, some Sundays, 5 a.m. Mountain Standard Time for about 4 or 5 hours on chatterbait.com. My website is taylorlove303.com, and you can find all of my links there to reach out. I'm happy to answer any questions after the stream. I know we have a little Q&A, but if something pops into your mind in like a week or two or months when you guys are watching this, like hit me up. I'm here. So again, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh my God, so many great information. Really, really enjoy. Really nice tips you gave. Like really golden pieces, golden valuable information. I really appreciate everything you shared. Like really, really, I really appreciate. I really enjoyed it. I hope this information is useful for the models. It's useful for the people who are starting in the industry or who wants to get like more pro in the coming industry. I hope that this information really can help everyone. So, first of all, I want to thank you. Before we close our live stream, we would like to open a 5 minutes Q&A section. So we will allow like the people that is currently on the chat that is watching us to uh, uh, to uh, to ask us any questions you have on mind, and we will do our best to answer them. Okay, so if you have any question, let's give 5 minutes if we see any questions. Perfect. Let me see. Okay. So here it says, due to the time difference, many models might not be able to join us. However, we have compiled some questions and invite Taylor to answer them. So in the community, we compiled some questions. So the first one, how did you begin in coming? How was your beginning? How was that process?
That's a cute question. My beginning was gracefully rocky, is how I would put it. I didn't know what I was doing in the beginning, and I dove in just head first and figured it out along the way. I found out about streaming just in happenstance and turned on my camera just made an account, turned on my camera, spent an hour. I made $20 in my first hour and my mind was blown. I was like, I don't know how, like, I'm making more than I was making at my current job. So I was like, I'm just going to keep going and see what happens. And I'm here still 5 years later. I don't know how I don't know how I didn't do it before, you know. It's been life changing. So I'm very grateful to the platform Chatterbait that I'm on and to everyone who hangs out with me every day. So it's awesome. I love it.
Perfect, perfect. See, we have here some extra people that is watching us. Let's see if there is any question from our audience. If there is anything else, let's give them a 1 minute. Like all the information that you share, like is well, like there is information that we didn't hear before. Like it's nice to have this kind of free, fresh tips, and yeah, that we can literally learn something. Here it says, what was your highest amount of tokens? People are curious.
I was very blessed. The highest tokens I've ever received in one stream was 75,000 tokens. It was an insane day, to say the least. I actually have a special tip option on my menu for 1 hour of Sex Machine at high speed, and that got tipped for six or not six times, three times. And then I do like 15 minutes, and I do a bunch of different levels. I'm more on the extreme side, so that gentleman was really in the mood to wreck me that day. Um, it was a fun time.
Like that's a lot, actually. Oh my God, that's
Yeah,
that's actually a lot. Wow.
I know.
Wow, my God. And well, I'm glad that you could have this kind of tips of, let's say, activities on your room, like using the sex machine. Actually, like nice, like really nice. Here it goes. What is your favorite love and story? Do you have any specific recommendations, such as which toy is best suited for certain types of performances?
Oh, sure. So my favorite toy is the sex machine. I use it every day for about 4 to 5 hours, like straight. I don't really take breaks. And my favorite combo of toys would be the machine, the hyphy is my favorite, and then the Gemini, which is the nipple clamps. I think that trio is really pleasant. Um, one thing I really like about Lovense, and I mean, obviously I'm a woman, but I like that Lovense has a lot of male toys. One thing I forgot to mention was there is an option to sync toys. So there's certain Lovense toys like the Nora and the Max 2, which is a male toy, can work together in tandem, and you can feel each other's motions and they communicate. And so that has always been a fun one to do, and you can also have users tip to control your toys. So a lot of people will tip me to control my machine or my vibrators for a certain amount of time, or all of the above. Um, and I love that. And so, but overall, hands down, my favorite is the Sex Machine. Both of them, but yes, that's my favorite.
Amazing. Let's go with the last question. Do you only stream on Chatterbait? If so, why did you choose to stick just to one platform?
Yes, I am exclusively on ChatterBait. I just have loved the platform. They've always taken care of me. The token ratio is really good. They protect their models really well. I mean, if you have an issue, they will stand behind you. Um, they also within the protections, like if you're getting bullied by somebody or anything, like they're on your side. I just really enjoy that. I have streamed on OnlyFans a couple times, but I've built such a big community on Chatterbait that once you build that community and you have people who show up every day to hang out with you before work or on their lunch break or for your whole stream, it's kind of hard to let that go and try to start that somewhere else. So I just really like their brand and their values. So I'm here till the end. Yeah.
Well, thanks for for your answers. I really appreciate the time. Every answer you gave us, really amazing information you provide us today. Like I really appreciate everything you have really said. We hope that this information, these questions, are in somehow help for the models, help for the people in the industry, and that they can learn something from this masterclass. I thank you, Taylor. Thank you for your time. Thank you for this beautiful moment. And yeah, so we can meet in the next time. We're finishing this live stream. Thank you so much, everyone. Like the questions we had, we compile. Uh, Thank you. So that's the that's the only thing. So see you guys in the next occasion. Thank you, Taylor, and see you. Bye bye.